She's 100% healthy and ready to lead this team to gold. Those weren't just words from Sue Bird. They were a declaration that Caitlin Clark's return to basketball is complete. After spending most of her sophomore WNBA season battling groin, quad, and ankle injuries, Clark dominated Team USA training camp from day one. Her logo three-pointer left everyone speechless. Her leadership impressed Cara Lawson immediately, earning her a starting spot for the 2026 World Cup. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's reaction to being relegated to the bench has been anything but graceful. She should be grateful she made the team to begin with. The contrast couldn't be more obvious. Should Reese be in Team USA? Let us know down in the comments below. And make sure to show your support for Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark at point guard, Jackie Young at the 2, Brianna Stewart at the 3, Nafisa Collier at the 4, and Asia at the 5. And then coming off the bench, we have Sabrina Ionescu, Kalia Copper, Paige Beckers, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, and Sonia Citron.
Clark walked up to the microphone with the kind of quiet confidence that comes from surviving your worst nightmare. The room fell silent. This was her first basketball interview in months. Not since the injuries started piling up during her sophomore season. Left quad strain, left groin injury, right groin injury, left ankle injury. The list kept growing while her games played kept shrinking. Just 13 games out of an entire season. For someone who broke 62 records as a rookie, watching from the sidelines felt like torture. "I'm finally feeling 100% healthy," Clark said, her voice steady and sure. No hesitation, no doubt. But she didn't sugarcoat the reality either. "I need to shake off some rust and regain my conditioning." The reporters leaned forward. They wanted to know if this was just brave talk or if she really meant it. After what she'd been through, could anyone blame them for asking?
You told us today that after practice you were a little bit nervous going in just because you hadn't played in a while. Was there a moment you kind of got over that, said, all right, I'm good, I'm back to where I was before I got hurt? And I think you hit that one step back three that sort of bring sort of some comfort in some ways in the sort of part we saw.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like when I touched the basketball to start warming up before the practice even started, that's probably when I felt pretty comfortable. But I mean, I've worked so hard. Like, I haven't taken a break since, honestly, since the beginning of the WNBA season, with just all my rehab and getting back to where I wanted to be and then getting even better. So that's been kind of my focus. And this has kind of been my next thing that I've been working for since our season ended.
And you could see it in her eyes, though. The fire was back. Clark talked about the psychological toll of being injured. Being injured is an isolating experience. She admitted she learned what her teammates go through when they're hurt. She learned how to be a better supporter from the bench. But mostly she learned how much she missed the game that made her famous. "I would have taken 10 bad games in a row just to be out there playing because that's how much I love it and how much I love competing with my teammates." Clark said that quote right there tells you everything about her mindset. She wasn't just ready to return. She was desperate to return. The passion hadn't dimmed during those months of rehab and recovery. Aaliyah Boston watched from across the room as Clark fielded every question. Her Fever teammate knew what Clark had been through. The frustration, the setbacks, the wondering if she'd ever feel like herself again on a basketball court. Boston had seen Clark at her lowest points, which made watching her handle this press conference even more meaningful.
In a way, at the end of the WNBA season, obviously I did everything I could to try to be able to come back and, be able to play for my team, but, it just didn't really work. I think that was almost a way of relief for myself, just knowing that, I gave everything I could to possibly try to play, but my body just wasn't really letting me.
Clark talked about representing her country again, how honored she felt to be part of Team USA's new Olympic cycle. This wasn't just about getting healthy for the Indiana Fever anymore. This was about leading the national team toward 2026 and 2028. The responsibility didn't scare her, it motivated her. "My body feels the best it has in months," Clark said near the end of the session. The reporters scribbled notes. The cameras kept rolling. Everyone in that room knew they were witnessing something special. Not just a player returning from injury, but a star reclaiming her throne. Clark promised that fans would see the real version of herself again. Not the injured player who struggled through 2025. Not the cautious athlete worried about getting hurt. The Caitlin Clark who made basketball must watch television during her rookie year. That player was back, and she had something to prove.
Team that was selected for the 2024 Paris Olympics, and the biggest news out of that was that Caitlin Clark was not selected for that team. And for the Paris Olympics, as you guys can see here, it's a lot of veteran players. It's even some legacy players, like Diana Taurasi actually didn't even play in that championship game, but she was still selected for Team USA. Now, again, I feel like that selection was not based on Diana Taurasi's skill. Now she has retired since then, but it was based on her legacy and her name. And there are also some other players that I feel like weren't necessarily selected based on how good they were as a basketball player.
The gym went quiet when Clark stepped onto the court for scrimmages. Everyone knew what this moment meant, her first real basketball in months. Coaches watched every step. Teammates studied every movement. The pressure was intense. Would she look like the same player who dominated her rookie year? Or would months of injuries show? Clark started cautious in those early possessions. She moved well, but didn't push too hard. A few safe passes here. Some solid defense there. Nothing flashy. People started wondering if the rust she mentioned was worse than she let on. Maybe the comeback wouldn't be as smooth as everyone hoped. The whispers started around the gym. Then Clark caught a pass near half court. 2 dribbles. She pulled up from the logo with zero hesitation. The same confidence that made her famous. The same mechanics that broke 62 records. The ball left her hands with perfect rotation. Everyone held their breath. Swish. Nothing but net. The gym exploded. Players jumped off the bench. Coaches started clapping. That familiar sound of Clark's shot finding the bottom of the net sent chills through everyone watching. You could feel the energy shift immediately. The cautious comeback was over. The real Caitlin Clark had returned. Video cameras captured every second. Her follow-through looked perfect. The arc of the ball was textbook. The stunned faces around the gym told the whole story. One shot erased months of doubt and worry. Subbard watched from the sideline with a knowing smile. She nodded like she'd seen exactly what she expected to see. The rust was gone already. Clark didn't stop there. She followed up the logo 3 with a series of laser passes that found teammates in perfect positions. Her court vision looked as sharp as ever. On defense, she anticipated plays and disrupted passing lanes like someone who'd never missed a day. Her basketball IQ remained elite level. The entire pace of practice changed. Clark's energy spread to everyone else on the court. Players started moving faster. Passes got crisper. Defense became more intense. The whole rhythm elevated to match Clark's intensity. She wasn't just participating anymore. She was leading.
Is back. That burst is back. And therefore, Caitlin Clark, I would call her number 22, but in this case, number 17, is back. Just the way she gets up the floor, control of the ball, control of the step back, pure, all that. She said she had to get her conditioning back. Sue Bird said that was one thing it would take her a little bit of time to work towards.
Even when Clark missed a few shots during a one-on-one drill, she muttered under her breath and kept pushing. Her drive for perfection hadn't diminished during recovery. She wanted every shot to fall, every pass to be perfect. That competitive fire burned as bright as ever. Clark also reconnected with Cameron Brink during camp. They'd known each other for nearly 9 years since their U16 days. "It's incredible to see how far we've come," Clark said. The friendship and chemistry with teammates remained strong. That single logo 3 became the moment everyone realized Clark was truly back. Not just physically healthy, but mentally ready to dominate again. The shot announced her return to the basketball world. Team USA had found their leader for 2026 and beyond.
Just seeing her back out on the floor at all is a big deal. And probably people holding their breath a little bit too, but just all of her movements look good. That's the most important thing. But that speed burst, that ability to get up the court quickly has stood out, because I do think that was something she never quite got all the way there in year 2, just because of the myriad of injuries, because she started in the preseason with the quad injury. And that's another differentiator for her, is how quickly she can move with the basketball.
Sue Bird and Cara Lawson huddled together after practice with smiles on their faces. Their animated discussion focused on one player who had blown away every expectation they brought to camp. Building a new Team USA identity around younger talent while keeping championship standards wasn't easy. They needed someone special to anchor their vision for 2026 Berlin and 2028 Los Angeles. Veterans like Chelsea Gray were in camp competing hard for starting spots. Established stars expected prominent roles. The decision to elevate Clark immediately caught people off guard throughout the basketball world. Some questioned whether she deserved such quick recognition after missing most of her sophomore season. The coaching staff had seen enough to know better. Bird went on record about Clark's leadership qualities during camp. She praised Clark's commitment and engagement with teammates throughout her injury-riddled WNBA season. Even when sidelined, Clark traveled to almost every Fever road game and stayed active on the bench. She demonstrated her dedication and leadership qualities. Bird noted Clark understood the challenges her teammates faced because she lived through them herself.
Of course, we are bringing Caitlin Clark to the 2026 FIBA World Cup. Caitlin Clark should have been on that 2024 Olympic team, not only because she was good enough, she was better than some players who played on that 2024 Olympic team, but also because just having her on that team obviously would have broadened so many eyes to the women's game on a global scale. But most importantly, Caitlin Clark is currently the best point guard in the WNBA, even only playing 13 games last season. She is still the best point guard in the WNBA, and she deserves to be on that team.
Lawson's assessment focused on Clark's basketball IQ and seamless integration with other players. The head coach watched Clark work with backcourt partners like Jackie Young during scrimmages. Her ability to elevate teammates impressed everyone watching. She looked good on both ends of the court and hadn't missed a beat, Lawson said about Clark's performance. The endorsement carried serious weight coming from the head coach. Behind the scenes, sources revealed that Clark's work ethic and attitude during recovery had impressed the coaching staff long before she stepped on the court. She stayed connected to the team. She supported injured teammates. Clark would text them and check on them when they dealt with their own health issues. Her character showed through the hardest moments of her career. The coaching staff noticed how Clark made everyone around her better during drills and scrimmages. Her court vision created opportunities for teammates. Her defensive intensity raised the practice tempo. Players responded to her energy and leadership in ways that can't be taught or faked. The impact was obvious to anyone paying attention.
I guess you can't rule anything completely out. Can't rule anything completely out like that team up right there. But I expect to see them really playing well off of each other in Team USA and in a Team USA uniform over the next several years, and the next couple of versions of that team. Just because Jackie Young knows how to do almost everything out on the court, and she would just thrive, I think, and she will thrive playing alongside Caitlin Clark.
Clark expressed her excitement about representing her country again. Playing for your country is the biggest honor you can possibly have. She said her appreciation for the opportunity showed in every drill and scrimmage. Clark had played on junior national teams before. She understood what wearing the USA jersey meant. The announcement came down from the coaching staff. Clark would start at point guard for Team USA. The decision validated her comeback completely and positioned her as the face of the program's future. This wasn't just about filling a roster spot. USA Basketball was betting their championship hopes on Clark's leadership and vision for the next Olympic cycle. Bird and Lawson's public endorsement of Clark as their starting point guard sent a clear message to the basketball world. She wasn't just back from injury. She was ready to lead Team USA to gold medals in 2026 and 2028. While Clark celebrated her starting role with grace and humility, Angel Reese's response to making the roster told a completely different story. She made the team but found herself in a bench role. That position didn't sit well with someone who apparently expected star treatment from day one of camp.
Caitlin Clark at point guard, Jackie Young at the 2, Brianna Stewart at the 3, Nafisa Collier at the 4, and Asia at the 5. And then coming off the bench, we have Sabrina Ionescu, Kalia Copper, Paige Beckers, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, and Sonia Citron.
Reports started surfacing about Reese's complaints regarding her playing time and role definition. Sources close to the team indicated she expressed dissatisfaction with her bench status. The situation created an uncomfortable dynamic within the team's chemistry that coaches had to address. You don't want drama disrupting preparation for international competition. Reese's reaction to her bench status became increasingly vocal as camp continued. She expressed frustration about being overshadowed by Clark's comeback story. The timing couldn't have been worse. While Clark focused on team chemistry and leadership, Reese seemed more concerned with personal grievances about her roster position. The contrast between the two players became obvious to everyone watching. Clark demonstrated gracious leadership and a team-first attitude in every interaction. She made comments about the importance of compromise and putting the team's needs above personal desires. Reese's energy appeared directed toward personal complaints rather than team success.